So one of the questions I get as an acupuncturist a lot is, how does the acupuncture needle work? And there's a lot of different analogies I give. So I'll give you one of them today. The acupuncture needle is a tool. It's a device. It's a way that we can gain leverage over different tissues inside the body, be it blood vessels, nerves, lymphatic flow, muscles, tendons, bones, all sorts of different things, right? Glands and organs. So we insert the needle, and the needle is like a key, right? It goes into that area and has a special way of being able to work with those tissues that are involved in that area. However, putting the needle in by itself doesn't necessarily make healing happen. If it did, every time that you got a splinter, you would magically get healthier. And that doesn't work, unfortunately, right? There's got to be something that's done. So traditionally, the needle was manipulated. It was put into the skin and lift up and down, spun one way clockwise or counterclockwise. It was lift quickly, thrust in quickly, shaken vibrantly, all sorts of different manipulations. There are actually 36 different classical Chinese manipulations of the needle. Um, and those manipulations are cause and effect factor, right? The amount of causation or information stimulus that we give to the patient through the needle is what the effect is going to be. If I move the needle quickly, your body's going to speed up. If I move the needle slowly, your body's going to slow down, right? Just like the sound of my voice. If I get all excited, I'm like, hey, guess what? We're going to do this and this and this. You're going to get caught up with that. And you'll be like, oh my God, what's going on? The same way, if you're really, really excited and then I start to say, hey, cool. The next thing I have to say is very important. So why don't you follow me? All of a sudden you slow down, you start to pay more attention by the tone and cadence of my voice. The same thing happens with the manipulation of the needle through the surface of the skin. The nerves pick up the different patterns of movements, and those nerves send messages to your brain, telling your brain what to do with those tissues in that area. So a really, really cool thing happens, right? Just like if you were a mother and had a child, or even a father that has a child, at some point you probably had the opportunity where the child was incredibly upset, right? Screaming, yelling. Their ears are red. Their head is purple. They got tears squirting out of their eyes, snot coming out of their nose. They're spitting up on themselves. They're yelling so much, right? And nothing you can do can settle them, right? If you have the opportunity in the future, or maybe you have in the past, to see a baby that's in that experience, take a moment, unwrap their feet, and feel what their feet feel like. Their feet will be icy cold, right? So typically they're warm throughout their entire body. But in this instance, they're icy cold below and super hot on top. In Chinese medicine, we would say their qi, their metabolism, is flaring upwards. They have an uprush of qi, right? It's fiery and flaring up. Like a tube of toothpaste. If you squirt it, squeeze it from the bottom to the top, it all comes out the top. The baby's doing the same thing. All this metabolic fluids and essences are coming up and rushing out the top uncontrollably. So what does the caretaker do? If you're the mother, the father, the babysitter, does it make more sense to rub up the baby's back or down the baby's back? Probably you'd say, and if not, you'll try, down will feel more natural, right? And that's an unconscious way that we're trying to settle that baby's chi. You're taking a tool, your hand, just like we use the needle, and putting it on the skin and stimulating a downward effect, right? Chi is the sum of your body, mind, and breath. In this case, you're using a tool to stimulate the body going downwards, right? Another thing you can do with the child too is speak to the baby. Do you go, oh baby, 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 yay, baby, baby, yay? No, the baby's all upset. You speak in soothing tones. Oh, it's okay. Oh, you'll be all right. Down, relaxed, slow, more yin quality tones as compared to upward, fast-paced, yang, excitatory tones, right? You're trying to settle, bring back towards earth, back to the yin substrate of the world, of the universe. Right? So that's what you'd be doing with your body. That's what you're doing with your breath and the sounds that you're making. What about time and space that's around you? Right? You take that baby and jump up in the air with it, right? Toss the baby in the air, jump up and down, trying to relax the baby. No, that's what you do to have fun and excite the baby, right? If you're trying to put the baby down, get the baby to relax, you rock. And what do you do when you rock? Down there, moving your body down through time and space, right? So using components of your body, your mind, and your breath to relax that baby, to take that baby from a sympathetic state of fight, flight, and freeze, where they're reacting in a survival mechanism, to a parasympathetic state of rest, digest, and heal, right? And if you were to do a lab workup on that baby, when that baby's in that excited, responsive state, their pupils are huge, right? Their blood vessels are going to be big, pumping blood to their extremities. They're going to have a high heart rate, a high respiratory rate, right? Their digestion is going to slow down to a stop. They're not going to have any gastric motility, moving food around. They're not going to have any enzymes or acids being released. Their digestion is going to stop. All that blood's going to go to their muscles or their extremities, and they're going to be ready to fight, flight, or freeze. As you rub that baby and you relax, their pupils will start to close down. Their respiratory rate will start to slow. Their blood vessels will come back down to a normal size shape. Their digestion will start to increase again as you return them from a sympathetic state to the parasympathetic state of rest, digest, and heal. Right? And the opposite thing can happen. You could walk up to somebody who's eating a sandwich or meditating and move your hands and voice and body in the opposite means, going, ah! And slap them in the head. And guess what? They're going to stop eating their sandwich or stop meditating in their rest, digest, and heal state and get from a parasympathetic state to a sympathetic nervous state, meaning that their pupils will get big from being small. Their heart rate will speed up. All those things that happen to the baby in reverse will be reversed because of stimulus. The cause and effect has been changed. So what we do is we know through decades and decades, hundreds and thousands of years of science and research being done in the field, what points can manipulate certain factors in the body, what manipulations of the needles can leverage those factors to get a heightened response, to get a feedback loop from the sensation in the skin, the muscles, and the tissues around the insertion site to the brain and back to the body to make a reproducible, predictable physiological change, meaning that doesn't happen just once, it happens every single time you do that manipulation at that point in that way. And that is how acupuncture works. So hope you check that out. Ask me some questions. I'd love to give you some feedback. And I'll talk to you next time. Enjoy.